Everyone, welcome back to It's Time to Leave. It's time to leave.
Already?
Oh yeah, let's go. Let me just turn off my Switch real quick. No. God, I don't really have much to talk about other than I was just watching Amphibia, and I like it. I just started watching that. That's all nothing really happened this week.
I mean, nothing especially happened to me. I know there were obviously things that happened this week. Movies and movie trailers, game trailers and such came out, but outside of like, yay, Alan Wake 2 is possibly happening. Not sure I actually believe it. Everything else... Oh, right, David Cage is making a Star Wars game, which is...
pretty funny.
Hilarious. Yeah, it might be one of the most sort of ill-advised things I've ever heard of, but, you know... It's their mistake to make, I guess.
Honestly, yeah, might as well. So, what I find... I think we talked... I think I've probably made a quip about it, like, on here before, but, like... What I really find funny about people that pretend David Cage stuff is good is that his stuff, at best, if you were to take it out of it being a video game, would be like something you'd see MS3K or half in the bag make fun of for like a minute and then forget about.
No, because everything he does is stolen from other big name properties.
I know what I said.
So, you know, if people want to look at Heavy Rain, they might go, "Man, this is just a bad version. This is just a worse version of Silence of the Lambs."
Yeah, that's what most of those like fucking Z-grade films are, just worse versions of other films.
Oh no, I can't think of New York Ninja being like anything else.
Like the only thing I can think of, like it kind of reminds me of the way that both his games do their interactivity, and like Shenmue does it in theirs. It reminds me of some that you'll see in a lot of those kind of movies is where they do an establishing shot, except for they show everything. Like, they'll show a car pull up to the driveway, go into the driveway, go into park, the door open, the guy lock the door, walk up to the door, knock it, have the person open the door. Like, they show all of this. Like, they don't do, like, any kind of, like, cuts like you'd see in anything else where, like, you might see them, like, going up to the place, cut to them at the door, stuff like that. No, it's just none of that. We don't cut any of that shit. Here's them opening the drawer. Here's them brushing their fucking teeth. In painful, excruciating detail.
Look, man, sometimes it's hard to reach those 90-minute marks, and sometimes you can't just bullshit it, and sometimes you just use some extended establishing shots just so you do hit like enough runtime for a theatrical release.
And then the other thing that's very similar to a lot of like the best of the worst kind of films that David Cage games have in common with them is sexual assault. What?
I didn't say anything.
Oh no, that was towards the audience. What? I'm right.
I don't think anyone can argue that there is definitely just repeated sexual assault and or rape scenarios in David Cage games.
I'm wondering which brunette character is going to be sexually assaulted in the Star Wars game.
Oh no, probably like the one that looks just like every other sort of like main female protagonist in Star Wars since Disney took over. I always forget every time I look at Rogue One, I'm like, why is Rey on the cover of this? Oh wait, that isn't.
Honestly, that's the thing. To be fair, that's been a thing even in the Lucas era. To be fair,
no, there were no women main characters in the Lucas era.
They were Leia and Leia's mom. Also, with some characters in the books. Also, Juno in the one game who looked like another Leia. It was usually a brunette.
So it's basically just Leia.
Yeah. I gotta be fair. This is an ongoing thing, even before Disney.
Oh,
I'll shit on Disney, but
I was just saying is that until like Disney, the women folk weren't allowed to be like the actual like main characters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, apparently it didn't save where I thought it did, and I have to hit stay independent again on the map. Oh boy. Stay independent.
Everyone knows independent parties don't achieve anything.
Oh, so you're going to stay independent? You're not going to side with one or the other?
No, I'm not gonna
Stop
side with
being on
Char.
the
Come on.
Stop being on the fence, Dan. Pick a side.
I picked the side telling them both to go fuck themselves.
You're either with us or you're against us.
I guess I'm against, because I'm going to tell them to go.
You're either
both
with
go to
Char
fuck
or you're with
themselves.
Haman. There is no.
You either want to kill all the space noids or you're wrong.
What? You don't like Xeon? What kind of Gundam fan are you? Everybody likes Xeon.
No.
They did
Filthy
nothing wrong.
Filthy space noids. Coming over here, taking our continents.
Dropping things.
I mean, they're not taking them; they're destroying them. There's a difference.
Yes, they're taking them from us in the metaphorical sense and also the literal sense.
Yes.
Sometimes, actually, for a little bit, they did conquer a good chunk of the planet.
Yeah. Filthy space noids. How would they like it if we went and conquered space?
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, they'd hate it. Space noids hate this man. And it's just a picture of Optimus Shirako. Find out this man's secret to acquiring all the women.
There we go. I put Ro in the XP thing because I want to build her up to become the second pilot of the new Gundam once the High New is unlocked.
Here's a question: is Sorako a more or less rapier embryo?
I mean,
I
he didn't actually do any raping, so
Yeah,
I think we'll have to say less.
he was very uncomfortable about it.
I mean, I know he was very uncomfortable when Embryo was straight up like, "I'm going to rape this character now,"
oh.
and took her away to a special rape dimension and tied her down with vines and ripped her clothes off. So
Yeah,
until Sorako can top that, I'm going to have to go with less than Embryo.
and I don't think we're gonna see Shirako again outside of like Super Robot Wars occasionally.
Yeah, outside of crossover games, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
He's
What if
not
he's
Char who'll just come back one day.
Maybe he has a new type ghost. We don't know.
No.
Maybe he'll upgrade the O to become the slightly larger but not quite big O.
The massive O.
No, it's the medium O.
The double O.
No, that's taken.
Oh fuck, you're right.
I mean, why not? Big O can hardly like complain about people taking intellectual property, can they?
No, I mean it literally took a song from Queen.
It's exactly the same fucking song.
They also took a song from Godzilla.
Yeah. They're like one of their kaiju themes is just straight up Godzilla's theme. So
What the jin 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 jin
Yeah.
jin jin jin.
Yeah.
Wow, really? Jeez.
yeah,
That's
Big O was not subtle in its thievery.
no. But yeah, it is. But yeah, for those who don't know, just listen to the Big O theme and then listen to Flash Gordon. It might be hard to pick up right away, just because the fact that one has lyrics and the other one just says Big O.
Yes.
No, there are other lyrics. They say, "Cast in the name of God, ye are not
Yeah.
guilty."
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right. I forgot. There's that one time where they stop saying Big O.
Actually, there is like more lyrics to it. There's just usually the TV theme ends before it gets to.
There are, but
Is
it's funnier this way. But still, it's all like it's like the Esclaflowne theme, where most of it's just saying the name of the robot. Where Esclaflowne is mostly just Esclaflowne, Esclaflowne.
I was gonna say, wait, what? Because Escalfone had a song.
I think it's the movie that did that.
No, it's like
Or are you talking about the English dub?
The one where it's like
think you mean-
Esclaflowne. That one.
no, that's like an insert theme. But yeah,
Oh, maybe it is. Because I was gonna say, I mean, the Escalfone's theme was sung by Maya Sakamoto in her very first role, and /song/stardom, because they basically picked her as a random schoolgirl, and they're like, yeah, we want this girl. And then she became a star.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I mean, she doesn't make quite as much money as Nana Mizuki does, but you know.
yeah. Well,
But yeah, it's
we can't all make the big bucks.
yeah, those
we're
are
not
the only
all-
ones I can think of that off the top of my head. Anime
I
wise,
remember she was on Sugita's radio show. Oh no, actually no, his TV show. I don't know if he has his video show. I don't know if it's regular or not, but I was just like, at some point she was a guest on there, and at some point it's just like, oh right, you're a multi-millionaire. And
You
he's
talking
like, what?
yen or real money?
The equivalent.
Oh, okay.
The equivalent of a multi-millionaire in yen. So they're basically like, so why do you do random voice acting gigs if you have like more money than half the people in this country? She's like, oh, for fun.
You fair.
Hey man, gotta do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair.
I mean,
It's
I
fun
mean,
doing it.
Sugita's not exactly broke himself, but you know, he's a standard paid popular VA.
Yeah, he only gets like millions of yen.
Yeah.
For those in the audience who don't know, in Japan, voice actors get paid a lot.
Well,
They
depends.
they get paid a lot when they become famous. When they start out, they make jack shit. That's why it's like a grind to get to the point where you make a lot of money.
When you're a fucking nobody and all you're doing is like playing background characters or like the rando friend, then yeah, you ain't getting shit. But if you're like that, but then you get lucky, you get that one role in that one video game that blows up, and then you do that role for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or you're Megumi and you're just everywhere for like 3 decades.
Yeah. I think she sustains herself entirely on like just regular roles she's had since the 90s.
Because like
At this point.
because like you have, because like they keep every now and then they pump out an Evangelion or a Slayers thing, so
Yeah.
there's always that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray, she gets more because Ray also will appear in like Super Robot Wars and shit.
Well, she's on Pokemon and she's on Detective Conan, which have been going for
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff that just goes on forever, and that's on top of
and
also a singing
that's
career.
basic. That's what she makes her money on. She's like, she doesn't really take new roles anymore. She just coasts off of royalties and being on Pokemon and Detective Conan and occasional songs.
Hey man, if I had the opportunity to just do no work and get money, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I respect the hustle.
Honestly, yeah, same.
So yes, in Japan, you could make ridiculous money as a voice actor, but you have to get famous first. Although, to be fair, there are a lot of minor voice actors that are still very famous despite not making a lot of money.
And then it's just like in being a on-screen actor, where you might get like fuckloads of money for appearing in questionable movies, i.e. The Rock.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you might get basically no money and just have to keep doing and keep having to grind out working shit gigs until because got to pay the bills somehow.
It's like how many US VAs make a decent living, but
a lot of them also
unless you're the cast of The Simpsons,
a lot of people. To be fair, a lot of VAs also get some money. Also get money off of. I'm going to say like. I mean, the way I was going to phrase it originally made it seem a lot worse than it is, but they get it from like side gigs, like card appearances, shit like that.
Or in Matthew Mercer's case, he decided to start doing D&D games with his buddies, and somehow that became $1 million franchise.
Yeah, just be Matthew Mercer, and then people just give you money.
Matthew Mercer, whose entire career started off because Troy Baker got too expensive for his minor gigs anymore. So Matthew Mercer, who sounds just like him, just became Discount Troy Baker.
There's Troy Baker now, Discount Matt Mercer.
Nah, Troy Baker's still worth quite a bit.
Yeah, true.
And Matt Mercer is still just be like, yeah, I'll do that weird role, sure.
Yeah.
Does it conflict with D&D? No? Okay.
Yeah, Matt Mercer's basically like, I don't care. Critical Role is all the money I'll ever need, so I'm just doing this for fun.
This is fun.
Yeah. He can afford to,
not give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what? That's decent placement for the people. I put Ro in this fight too, just get her XP. Fa, I have to have her shoot the Haman Simp like once, so that way I get a point. I gotta have Camille attack the Quest Simp. Judo has to attack somebody. Oh, also the Haman Simp. And Amuro has to attack probably Quest. Yes. Cool. I got everybody. So I'm trying to get the points to get get as many of the units as possible. I'd also like to get the Sazabi and the Nightingale, so that way I can just put Haman in the Sazabi and just always have the Sazabi around because it's really good.
Well, I'll be the first person to bring it up, since, I mean, we were probably going to talk about it anyway, considering you. But, I find it funny how a lot of people, since the Sonic 2 trailer came out, have been saying, man, yeah, Sega's, like, done, or Knuckles has been done dirty. Because, oh no, he wasn't always an idiot. It's like, yes, he fucking was an idiot.
Yeah.
Always an idiot.
Yeah, he was
Like,
always an idiot.
He's fallen for, like, as people act as if, like, Sonic
By the way,
Boom
I pay, like, so little attention to the Sonic fanboys, I didn't even know they were bitching about it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's Knuckles, and I walked away.
Well, I don't think they talk about the movie specific, like the movie in this, but like people have been. It's one of the things of, oh well, the movie trailer got revealed, and then everyone's like, oh, Knuckles is in it, and then they're suddenly saying, oh man, Sega has done Knuckles dirty for years, and I'm like, no, no, they haven't. Knuckles' entire character has literally fought. Knuckles' like character, wise, has fallen for the same trick at least 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's not even a good trick. It's literally Eggman goes, hey, Knuckles, I know you're guarding this Master Emerald thing, and that's cool and all, but I hear this Sonic guy is bad, and he's going to take your Emerald, probably. So you should go and beat the shit out of him, and just so that you know, everything's okay, I will guard your Emerald for you. And then the second Knuckles looks away, he flies off with his fucking Emerald. And then Knuckles is like, wow, I can't believe he tricked me again.
It's even better when you consider the fact that, so the first time you can at least understand and have him be like, oh, okay, I see. He's gonna steal it. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thanks for the warning. And the second time, it's like, wait, but didn't you steal it last time and electrocute me half to death? No. Oh, okay, good. Alright, so this Sonic guy that I've never met before, or that I know, depends on how I'm feeling today, and how my memory's working today.
Yeah, it's just the amount, like, it's just as if pretending Knuckles was ever, like, anything but a dingus. I like Knuckles.
Oh, I love Knuckles, but he's an idiot.
Exactly.
But that's part of the charm.
Yeah.
It's part of his boyish charm, being a complete, absolute moron.
You know, flexing his knuckles.
Knock, knock.
You can call him Knuckles.
Knock, knock.
Unlike Knuckles, he doesn't Knuckles.
Knuckle. That's right, I'm the living Knuckle.
Basically, yes.
I don't know. Movie trailer seems fine.
It seems good. I'm interested.
It seems like another one of those movies, so it will probably be. Yeah, I might check it out when it's, you know.
Like, I like the
first one was.
Yeah, the first one I liked. I liked it. It was actually like the first like one of those live action movies that I didn't like unironically like. It was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
The only complaint I really have about the movie is I kind of just don't like Sonic's voice.
It's okay. It's not his best. It's not his worst.
It's not his worst.
It's not Urkel, but you know. It's hard to.
Yeah, good luck getting him back.
I mean, what else is he doing?
Actually, no, he would do Sonic. It's Urkel. It's Urkel specifically. He actually said, like, if you ever see me in the Urkel costume again, do me a favor and put a bullet in my head.
I was like, Jaleel White liked being Sonic.
I was like, wait, yeah, no, Sonic he liked is Urkel he
finally,
hated.
an actual role that I don't have to be Urkel in. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, Urkel is the one where he literally has gone on the record saying, if you ever see me in the Urkel costume, do me a favor and kill me.
He felt so bad too because he was just supposed to be a bit character on that show, and it somehow became all about him.
It became his show. He was just like a joke character where the joke is, haha, look at this weird nerd who's got a crush on this main character girl, haha.
And it's like Big Show became all about him, and the person the show was actually supposed to be about, which is the mother, because she was the one on the show that it spun off of, basically just like fitted into the background and eventually quit. She's like, this was supposed to be my show, not a show about this nerd kid. What the hell happened? You know, because they were shameless back then, and if something worked, they'd milk it terribly.
Yes, because they would never ever do that in today's world.
I feel like that wouldn't happen again.
Shamelessly milk a franchise to death?
No, they'll do that. I mean, I can't imagine them like 2 episodes in saying like, you know what, people really like this one character. Let's retool the show to make it all about them. Well, has that happened recently? I don't think it has.
Arrow.
I can't believe. Oh yeah, you're right. By the way, I just can't believe that all these things keep attacking Ryoma only for him to fucking murder them.
It is exactly how the show is, though.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, technically, it was still about Oliver shooting arrows with people most of the time.
I still think
If you
it's
say so.
I still think it's funny though when one of my favorite things is still the whole like interaction where when Canary is getting put on the show and Gail Simone says, "Hey, you better do my girl justice." He's like, "Don't worry, we will." And then when people point out that he fucked up, he basically did the equivalent of putting up 2 middle fingers. What a colossal bitch.
Yeah, well.
Not the actress, I'm talking about the writer. An actress is just an actress. They're just getting paid to do her.
You should pity her because she was clearly an actress of great talent and skill who had a lot of good ideas for the character that the writers basically just ignored.
Also, she
went all in on making her a self-insert for angry drunken wine moms who really wish they could be the smartest person ever.
And also, she tried to quit.
She did quit. Well, I mean, she didn't quit. She was just like, when her contract ran out, she's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I have other things to do. Sorry,
bye.
I'm not gonna stay on the show forever."
And I'm like, wait, what? But we need our punching bag. Get back here. Well, fuck. Guess we're just gonna have to cripple Batwoman now.
Again.
It's sorry, Ruby.
I mean, Stephen Amell wanted to quit too. They're basically like, please just do like 13 episodes so we can have you in the big crisis event we've been working towards for the last 7 years. And he's like, oh, all right, fine. And then afterwards, he's like, he hated working on the show so much that he had a panic attack talking about it on Rosenbaum's podcast.
God.
He had such a bad time towards the end. Because he did the same thing. He's like, hey, I got a lot of good ideas to improve the show writing, and he was basically told, shut up. You're there to look handsome and pretty. This is cheap schlock for teenage girls. We don't care about the writing. They'll watch it anyway. Fuck off.
And he was like, fuck.
That was basically the Arrow's writing room. And that's why he's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna get out as quick as I can.
Guess I'll just. That's why he should have gone to the writers. He should have used his special move on them. The Arrow season 4.
Oh no! It's this finisher! Season 4!
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, it's a
the funny thing is he used the Arrow season 4 in his wrestling match. It's when he tried to slam a guy into the table, but he screwed it up so that they both ended up slamming onto the ground and just laying in there in pain. And nobody wanted to continue.
That's the best description of Arrow season 4.
That's what it was. Because I remember when someone did it, and everyone was like, "Wow, he really took that to heart. He did the Arrow season 4. Nobody wants to continue." Tom was a genius.
I mean, like, what was it? As much as I make fun of Injustice for like the 5 seconds they allowed him to exist in that game, he sounded like he was having fun being, Oliver and making dumb quips.
Well, maybe
what he really had fun in was the Arrow show's version of the Lego DC.
Oh yeah.
Right, they did have that.
They did, and he mocked the hell out of it. He's like, I'd do something different. I'd do something great and pointy and arrowy.
Yeah, I remember. I got pissed because they stole my shit in a bucket joke.
And he's like, but by the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing my full Green Arrow garb when I was back on the island, this is just how I like to imagine myself here, okay?
That's fucking amazing.
It's great. Like and they showed videos of him recording, and you could tell he was like, oh my god, he's happy to be Oliver for once.
He's not miserable.
Because this was in like the dark days of like the end of the show where he wanted to kill himself.
Aww.
You could just tell, because I remember he went and did like an open mic guitar song like 3 months after Arrow ended, and it looked like he de-aged by about 3 years. So
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me this. He sang a song called "I Really Hate Arrow." I fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate
No,
it.
he walked out and he looked like fresh-faced, energetic Oliver from season 1, as opposed to the miserable, starting to get old-looking Oliver he was at the end of the show. And I'm like, well, either the show drained the life out of him for the last couple of years, or like they made him up to look old and grizzled towards the end.
I want to say it was a life-sucking vampire.
Probably, yeah, because everyone's like, wow, you look like you're happy again.
You
I
look
remember
like yourself.
he did a recent interview where he's like, I like playing Oliver. I'd love to do some more Arrow stuff, but only if it's on HBO Max or DC Plus or anything but CW. He's like, forget it. I'm never working for those guys again.
Don't blame him, honestly.
Well,
he's like, but if you can get me on an actual good network, I'd totally be up for doing Green Arrow.
well, maybe if the Hawkeye show takes off. Bearing in mind, Hawkeye is just a massive rip-off of Green Arrow anyway.
I mean,
Don't tell it to Marvel fans; they'll get really upset and
I
tell
don't
you
think
you're wrong.
I don't think they're getting Jeremy Renner for more than one season. So I think Hawkeye show is going to be a one and done, like WandaVision was.
Probably, although isn't the whole point that he's like training up a young protege? I don't know. I've not watched the show.
I mean, maybe they'll star her, but I don't think they're like, this is probably Jeremy Renner's last performance.
All I know is Marvel must be fucking desperate to must be clambering, thinking, "Fuck, what do we actually do now?" Yeah, Avengers is over, and Black Panther is impossible to do anything with.
Yeah, recently they Chadwick Boseman's brother is like, recast Black Panther. Come on, stop being stupid. It's not going to work without him. The character, I mean, he's like, our family is cool with it. Just don't kill the thing you had going by refusing to. Because I think they also requested Marvel Comics not use T'Challa anymore because they couldn't use him in the movies, and they were like, what? he did a good job, but he wasn't that iconic. We've been using him for years before Chadwick came around.
You know, the thing is that there'd be a bunch of morons online that would be like, no. You gotta retire it.
I mean, there are people mad that he showed up in the Avengers game. People were like, even if Chadwick was still alive, he wasn't going to be playing him here.
Yeah. And I want to point out, I'm not a Black Panther fan, but like retiring the character is so stupid, especially when they're popular.
Well,
instead in Avengers, he's played by Teal'c. For some reason.
Everyone loves Teal'c. To be fair,
yeah.
he's got quite big in video game voice acting after doing God of War.
Yeah.
He has.
Or God of War.
Speaking of Marvel, by the way,
no.
Spider-Man came out.
Well, I haven't watched it. Dan hasn't watched it. I still haven't even seen either of the other two movies. I only vaguely know what.
I don't, but
I vaguely know some of the things that happen, but other than that, I might see it.
You guys might actually enjoy some of it.
I know, because Maguire and Garfield come back, even though there's
Maguire and Garfield come back, and they actually do a good job of incorporating them into the story.
Was that right? Is the Garfield one the Gwen, and the Toby one the Spider-Verse, kind of downtrodden Peter?
No, actually, so Maguire's life is going great, and Garfield is the one who's sad and downtrodden because Gwen died.
That makes sense. Honestly, that makes sense.
20 years ago, or however long it's been.
It had only been like a couple of years, I think, since then, because he's like, oh man, I haven't done anything cool. The last guy I fought was a Russian guy in a rhino suit.
Oh, it's a video game.
No, that's the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, no, because Holland Peter's like, yeah, I fought aliens, and Tobey Maguire's like, yeah, I fought an alien too. This sludgy guy, which was, Venom, obviously, and then Andrew's like, oh, I never fought any aliens. The last guy I fought was a guy in a rhino suit.
Wait, how did he know it was an alien?
He just did somehow.
plot hole. Anyway,
That's not that
I
big
mean,
of a deal.
all well and good. You know, I'm sure this is very good for other people, and maybe I will see it. But per my patented review system now, it does not feature a mech, so it is therefore trash.
Yeah, this is something you missed last week. If it doesn't have a mech, it's trash.
Yeah, explain.
I mean, does Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2 count as a mech?
No, it's power armor. Trash.
So does this mean like when we do like after the holidays and we do our games of the year thing? Is this gonna be like a thing where you're gonna ask each one of us if there's a mech in the game?
If I remember, there's no
I'll remind
guarantee. Yeah, unless you want unless you want all of your things to be called trash.
I mean, I don't care. You can call them trash. I don't give a shit.
Right. But anyway, so Maguire and Garfield are in it. They get some interesting closure from their own movies, which is, I guess, nice if you're a fan of those movies. You know,
Yeah.
much to your shock from the trailer, Marvel's MJ does not die like Gwen does, because Andrew Garfield catches her.
Surprise face.
Wait, but
And
that
the-
broke her spine in the. You know what? Never mind.
Well, no, he actually grabs her and like pushes her to fall with his body, and then he like starts crying.
Oh, what a
And she's,
pansy.
and she's like, "Why?" He's like, "No, it's just."
Maybe
and,
Flash. Maybe Flash was right to bully Peter. Just
The thing is, Garfield saves MJ from falling, and in a sense redeems himself with Gwen, and then Toby stops Norman Osborn from getting impaled by his glider again, which was his thing he always regretted.
Why did he regret it? He was an asshole who tried to murder children to get
apparently,
it.
apparently because he's like, if I just gotten through to him, then all that stuff would have happened.
He wouldn't have gone through to him. He was crazy and hooked up on the goblin gas.
Well, they create a cure for the goblin gas. In fact, that's actually because everyone's enemy shows up. Norman shows up, played by William Dafoe, who's de-aged, and Melina shows up, and Jamie Foxx Electro shows up.
So what you're saying is he comes Willem to friend.
Yeah. And Thomas Hayden Church and the guy who played Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man are also in it, but they don't do that much. And they only show up like not in monster form briefly towards the end.
Fair enough.
And Aunt May dies.
They killed the young Aunt May that everyone was obsessed with.
Yes, Green Goblin blows her up.
Well, bye, Marissa Tomei.
Now you can do the Uncle Ben story, but with Aunt May. No, I'm kidding.
That's literally what he does.
Oh.
When she dies, she's like, "Remember, Peter, great power comes with responsibility."
Oh.
Fuck! I was joking. I was kidding. Didn't mean it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the movie's bad. It's just.
And then at the end, Doctor Strange, in order to keep the multiverse from falling apart, Doctor Strange has to erase the knowledge that Peter Parker ever existed. Which means
So it's one more day, which I said from like.
It is one more day. It is one more day, except instead of selling his marriage to the devil, he sells his identity to Doctor Strange because it's the only way to fix things. And that means that everyone forgets about him, including the Avengers and including all his new friends, and he's basically like the Spider-Man you two always wanted him to be, where he's alone against the world and broke.
I was actually gonna say, so basically what they did was they hit a reset button to make Spider-Man Spider-Man. That's actually what I was about to say.
They made him the regular Spider-Man, since I guess they're done with the. I was gonna say it seems like a strategic move because they don't know if he's gonna be. I guess they don't know if Sony and Marvel are gonna keep cooperating. Because this way they can either.
And
This way
the
they have an
character
excuse.
or
Well, it's like if they want to keep going with Holland, they can just like what happened to all the Marvel characters that they own? Well, they don't know him anymore.
Yeah, no, honestly, it makes sense.
Why aren't the Avengers helping him out? Because they don't really know him anymore.
Yeah, no, it is a smart move,
Like-
honestly.
So the world remembers Spider-Man, but it doesn't remember Peter Parker. So the Avengers are like, all right, Spider-Man. Yeah, he helped us out once. We don't know much about him though. And that was about it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's good.
Also, Netflix Daredevil shows up briefly, just to show that he's still there.
He'll
cool.
never appear again.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, he shows up as Matt Murdock and then somebody throws a rock at Peter or something because the world hates him because they think he killed Mysterio, and he just like grabs it with his Daredevil reflexes and he's like, "How'd you do that?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a really good lawyer." And while all this is going on, so Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom from his own continuity, also shows up briefly because at the end of Let There Be Carnage, he's sitting there talking to somebody, and suddenly he gets himself warped into the Marvel universe. So he's sitting there. He's like, "Yeah, maybe we should go to find the Spider-Man guy and see what's going on." And then he immediately gets pulled back into his Venom universe without doing anything except talking with one Mexican bartender. Except he leaves a drop of the Venom suit behind. So I guess that's how they're going to incorporate Venom in the MCU.
Probably.
So
Might literally be
so
like
that
the
was-
next plot that they do with their Spider-Man with
Yes.
Yeah, but it means you'll have to then get another Eddie. You're gonna have to have a second Eddie Brock in order to have actual Venom.
or maybe a
Yeah,
third
probably.
actually. This is a third technically.
No one talks about Topher Grace.
Literally, I think Topher Grace was, I think, the only character from like the previous Spider movies who was not, other than when Tobey Maguire mentioned fighting him, he doesn't show up. So, yes, the one guy they did not bring over was Topher Grace's Venom.
Jeez, that's
Because
Wait, no, there
he's
is
that
one other.
unpopular.
No, wait, no, there is one other villain that I think they might have met, that I think they've missed.
So,
They didn't bring the Usher.
What about Bonesaw?
Bonesaw's not a villain. Bonesaw's misunderstood.
no, there's one villain from each movie, so they brought Sandman from Spider-Man 3.
Oh, not Mr. Oh, not Mr. Oh, I was sick, daughter. That makes it okay to do bad stuff. I'm sorry, I accidentally killed your uncle. And you're like,
Yeah,
how
he
did
was
you?
there.
What? How? How is any of this plot make sense? Fucking Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman. He's just does the monster Sandman thing, and then he gets like returned sort of to his regular form, and then Peter's like, "It's okay, Flint. We're gonna get you out of here."
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't he? Didn't they like reconcile? Because it's like Sandman's like, yeah, I know I killed your uncle 5 minutes ago. I tried to kill you and your friend and your girlfriend, but are we
Yeah.
cool? And Pete's like, no, we're not cool actually. But I'm just tired of this shit now. Go away, Sandman.
There's this weird thing where all of the villains are like made crazy for some reason that I didn't quite understand.
Crazy.
That's why they have to like they fix Doc Ock's tentacles, and because he shows up at the end and they think he's going to attack them, but then he helps them because
Then they got rid of the evil. Then they replaced the evil suppression chip that he had installed on his back and his neck, because the tentacles are so smart. They're actually smarter than him.
Yeah, I think that's what they did. They put in the evil they cure the Goblin formula. They stabilize Electro and Sandman and the Lizard.
I should have just. Let's be honest. They should have just left Norman dead. It's like he was never a good man.
Well, and
Look.
then they all go back to their regular dimensions, and that's about
Look, the longer you leave Norman Osborn alive, the higher the chance is that he's gonna fuck Gwen Stacy.
I mean, it is a rule at my local comic shop that you can't talk. You're not allowed to talk about that. That's the one thing you can't make fun of or talk about. He doesn't like to hear about that.
Well,
It's the one time I've ever heard him be serious about anything involving a comic book, which is really funny to me.
And then the big stinger at the end is the trailer for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, which is about what you'd expect.
which is also probably not going to be what we expect, because they're doing extensive reshoots on it. because I guess they don't like what Sam Raimi was doing, because, I mean, it's Sam Raimi.
Apparently they're doing it since of reshoots because they made Wanda too evil, and people like Wanda now after WandaVision.
Well, I'll never like Wanda, because I'll always remember House of M.
I'm more inclined to nowadays just blame Yo Quesada.
No more mutants, indeed.
Also, rumor is that Professor X is going to show up in it.
Oh, not Wait, Patrick Stewart, or...
No,
I forget the other guy's name.
The other guy.
I forget his name.
Not Malfoy. McAfloy, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Apparently, like, it involves a another multiverses version of the Illuminati.
I hate that shit.
Finally, they bring back the Illuminati. Finally, everyone's favorite.
Not the fucking Illuminati. Because unfortunately, if we get the Illuminati, aside from the fact that half the members they can't have anyway, it does mean that the only main member of the Illuminati they can bring in is everyone's favorite Reed Richards.
Finally.
Because, I mean, can't do Tony Stark because he's dead. You can't really do Black Panther because, well, we already sort of discussed why. Black Bolt, no one gives a fucking shit about Black Bolt. Black Bolt doesn't even do anything. He's just there sitting quietly because that's all Black Bolt can do.
There's also Namor, everyone's favorite. Actually, I do
No
know
one
one
gives a
I know one
fuck about
person
me.
who loves Namor. I know one
Well,
person.
they're wrong, and you should kill them.
No! I'm not gonna kill them.
You should crush their skull.
No! I'm not going to do that.
How can they like Namor? He's the fucking worst.
I mean, I like Jubilee, and no one kills me.
But Jubilee isn't just like the fucking worst like Namor. Like Namor, my main defining character trait, other than just being bad Aquaman, is I simp for Sue Storm, like
True.
half the other fucking Marvel universe does.
You know, I like how
The only good thing Namor ever did was wipe out half of Wakanda. Look, I've said before, I hate, like, old school comic book Wakanda.
I mean, we had a very fucked up realization about Wakanda before. That I don't even really want to repeat.
Yeah.
I will just without any context, I'll just like to say, hey, remember Gorilla City? Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, I don't understand how anyone can like Namor. He's just bad Aquaman.
I mean, I agree, but I mean...
At least Aquaman, like, has a girlfriend. Slash wife slash queen slash, I don't know. Does DC still hate marriage?
I don't know. Probably.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it was going to be inevitable that the X-Men were going to show up, considering they've been pushing the X-Men pretty hard, like, in other media, and now, especially with them owning the full rights to it. And they've been pumping out X-Men merch left and right. It was inevitable they were going to start doing it.
Yeah, there's one big issue. There's one big problem I foresee with them doing it, though. Is I can think of precisely two major X-Men stories that either A, haven't been done 2 to 3 times already, that could also theoretically involve other Marvel characters, and neither of them are any good.
Which is?
Avengers vs. X-Men, which I literally just made fun of. And
I hate that storyline.
yeah, and the other one, which is probably worse.
That storyline is actually, funny enough, that storyline is why, like, in terms of comic book fans, there's, like, this weird, like, divide between Avengers and X-Men fans. Just because they decided to make this fucking dumbass story.
And then the other one, which I think is probably worse because I fucking hate the character it spawned, but Onslaught.
Yeah.
And who really wants more? Who really wants Onslaught outside of like MVC2?
We don't talk about Onslaught.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Is that that's like of all the other sort of like major X-Men stories that they could potentially build up towards as like replacement Avengers, it is either Avengers versus X-Men or it's Onslaught, and both of them fucking shit. Because you can't do Dark Phoenix again. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't.
That won't
you
stop
know-
me because I can't read.
Days of Futures Past isn't really like a, Marvel Universe story. Even though you'd think, in retrospect, it should probably involve more heroes, considering it's like, oh yeah, in like 20 years in the future, we live in a horrible, evil dictatorship run where a bunch of people are segregated thanks to giant killer robots, and I guess all the other Marvel heroes just didn't give a shit because Mewtwo's right.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, and it's one of those storylines where it's like, yeah, this works in the X-Men, but if you like put it in the greater context, it's like, was really just like Captain America okay with this?
Yeah, that's the thing with the X-Men. Always has been that thing where it's like, it gets iffy when you put other characters into it, and like when you do and you have them speak out, it just seems weird that it doesn't do anything. Actually, it's funny. Even JJ is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people and mutants?"
I always find it fucking hilarious whenever it's Fantastic Four and X.
JJ likes everyone except Spider-Man for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I think is funny. It's like, JJ, well, don't you hate them? No.
I always find it funny whenever it's like a Fantastic Four and an X-Men overlap, because then it's like, here's the Fantastic Four who are all horribly affected mutants from space who are affected by cosmic rays, and everyone's like, yeah, they're like the first family of America. Literally everyone in the universe, or in the Marvel universe, loves the Fantastic Four, and they're like, ugh, you were born with your powers, you fucking disgrace.
Yeah, no, it's been always an issue.
Everyone you love dies.
Oh yeah, no, it's something I've made fun of for years. How it just kind of makes no sense. Yeah, it's just dumb.
I always the one thing I did always like.
Like, it's weird. Marvel, like Spider-Man, I'm fine with existing in either or, but like the Greater Avenger, I'm just like, eh. Which is weird when you get to like the nitty gritty of stuff, like the fact that literally Logan and Captain America are buddies, like old war buddies.
Everyone's allowed to have one muty friend. It's so that people stop thinking you're racist. Okay, no, but one of my best friends. No, but some of my best friends are mutants.
Jesus.
That way you can steal their culture.
Jesus Christ.
Am I wrong?
No, the X-Men don't have a culture anymore. Remember, the mutants lost their culture when Joe Quesada was like, you know what I like better? Instead of having, the mutants have their own culture and music and fashion, how about instead we go back to them just getting chased by cartoon robots and we kill like half of them? Now, how can I do this easily? Ah, Scarlet Witch!
But here's the problem. Here's the other problem. If you do, say, try and build up to Avengers versus X-Men, is that you will inevitably then have to do the scene where the Avengers just fucking break into an actual school for children and basically start tasing them like they did in the comics.
Oh yeah, don't forget they put them in internment camps.
Yeah.
Like,
it's that kind of thing. I mean, they did that in Civil War too, in the comic, but and also the movie. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I don't know how you can square this off and it not just come off as shitty. And that's why I say I feel like they'd have to go the Onslaught route, and I fucking hate Onslaught. Onslaught's so stupid. It's like, oh yeah, Professor X just decided had all this rage and stuff built inside him, and then that gave birth to this super psionic entity. And also, it looks like Magneto because Professor X was guilty that he mind raped the fuck out of Magneto because Magneto ripped Wolverine's adamantium skeleton from him in a fit of pissy rage, because that's Magneto's kind of shtick.
It is.
Oh no, you have mildly annoyed me, Logan. Welp, time to put you through horrific pain.
Mildly noted, Logan. Time to rip out your entire skeleton.
Spine.
I'm stripping out your spine. Spine.
Yeah, and so
It's yours, and now it is mine.
So yeah, Professor X, just decides, you know what, I've had enough of this guy for 30, 40, 50, however many years we've been going at this. Every time I've been like, hey Eric, why don't we be friends again and make the world better? And his response has always been, fuck you, won't do what you tell me. Well, know what? Now you will do what I tell you, and I tell you to become I tell you to become the senile old man you already are.
Starts dribbling. Oh.
Yeah, and that's how we get, and that's the birth of Onslaught, and then Onslaught is just terrible.
But know his name and fear it.
The problem is then also gonna get like the Thanos problem, where people are like, "Oh man, the movie's made this character so cool," and it's like Thanos was never cool. Thanos is a nerd. You know what? Thanos is a fucking simp.
Well, what's funny is Thanos in the movies is even dumber. Like, I mean, we've made fun of it before, that Thanos' goal in the movies is even stupider when you consider the fact, like, okay, so you have the Infinity Gun. Yeah. It can do anything. Yeah. Okay, and your issue is that you believe, even though the universe is expanding, let's just pretend that's not a thing. You believe that resources are dwindling because of population. Yeah. You could just make more resources.
He can't do that. That wouldn't prove to the universe that he's right.
Look, it's the fucking like Spider-Man dinosaur, Spider-Man problem of wait, that technology can cure cancer. Well, I don't want to cure cancer. I want to make dinosaurs.
It's really, everything Thanos does is just an excuse for the fact that he wants people to say, yes, Thanos, it was a good idea for your race to kill half of each other to survive, and they really should have done it and listened to you. What a genius you were. Because when it's when he comes back and people are like, yeah, we're still pretty pissed. He's like, well, then I'll just erase the entire universe and make a new one. Well, I'll make sure everyone thanks me. So yeah, it was always about his own ego.
No one really ever points out the exact thing I just said. Like no one in that movie series is smart enough to be like, hey, wait a minute.
No, because they know he's fucking nuts.
They know he's nuts, but not because they don't like point out.
They told him many times, like you're nuts, and he's like, well, I'll do what must be done, because they're like not even going to bother being like, why don't you just use your all godlike power to, you know.
You could be like, if you don't really want to kill everyone, why don't you do this and have him go no? Like you're insane what he says. It'd be better than nobody points it out.
I mean, I assume that whole thing about how he's going to force everyone to was supposed to be like, yeah, no, Thanos just wants people to like him for killing half the universe, and none of your logical reasons why he shouldn't is going to work on him. I mean, I suppose Tony could have been like, why don't you just make infinite resources?
What a digital dummy.
I can't believe the Grimace is this stupid.
He is just a giant purple asshole, isn't he?
Really is.
The worst part is that there's everyone, like, there's a bunch of people that actually think Thanos is did a good thing.
Yeah, did you ever hear about the fucking Thanos did nothing wrong Reddit?
Yeah.
You know, I remember when the did nothing wrong thing was a joke that the Berserk fans did about Griffith, and it was just a joke. And now every other fan base does it, but they're serious. No,
there's a surprising amount of people that are like, man, I wish half the world would just fucking die.
I wish all the world would die, but you know.
It's like, but why? Well, because then there'd be more stuff for me. And it was like, what about you? Well, it's like, well, I have no friends, I've cut off my family, and I'm just a miserable bastard.
Alright, well, what if you're one of the people that die? What if you're one of the half?
It's like, oh, that wouldn't happen.
Well,
I'm special.
That's what I was trying to say. So there was a Reddit, subreddit specifically for, like, Thanos did nothing wrong. And it was, everyone was just, you know, all well and good. And then, like, one day they just kind of deleted or removed half the users from the Reddit. And a bunch of people got pissed about that. And it was like, why did you remove it? It's like, because, you know, remove half of the users. And they said, well, I didn't think it would be me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't think they'd be eating my face.
Yeah, it's a combination of, like, they want they're selfish and or have no friends and want more stuff for themselves, and they don't think they're going to be the half removed because they're special.
I didn't think the leopards would eat my face.
I hope the leopards would eat your face.
That's not a nice thing to say.
At least, but you know what? At least you know where you stand with me.
He's a paper tiger, I'm not worried.
Aww. I'm at least aluminum.
Listen, Camille's about to fight, the Quest Simp. Make your own jokes here.
Oh yes, that guy.
Yeah. There's two of them, so I probably should specify. It's not Hathaway. It's the other one.
Yeah, it's the guy who's entire.
The guy who could have been cool, and then the guy who was like cool for like 5 seconds, and then they just made him, man, this blue-haired bitch, I really like her.
What did he do? He killed the pilot with his mobile suit's bare hand after he took her out of the cockpit.
Yeah.
Then he immediately jobbed to Amuro.
Yeah.
As is the fate of all Xeon pilots, to be fair.
He was losing to Amuro before he had the new Gundam. When he fights him with new Gundam, he just like, boom.
He's like, I got a hostage, and then he gets blown up, and then in the process, she gets crushed to death.
Well, no. It's like he has a hostage and he crushes her. And then in their third encounter, when there is no hostage, he's like, I can still defeat the famous Amuro. Ha ha, boom. And then Amuro just like.
No, it's actually all in that one encounter.
No, that happens twice.
Yeah, they have 2 encounters. They have one early without the new, and then one late with the new. Because Amuro's system activates ahead of time when he gets attacked and blows him up.
That's not the final battle. That's the middle of the movie.
No, that's part of the final confrontation.
It's not.
Because there's only really 2 battles in the movie.
There's 3.
2.
There's
There's
3.
one in the open. There's the. So, I was gonna say there's the opening where like you have Amuro in the. Is it a Rig Z?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's in the thing that eventually that lady pilots.
And he's fighting that dude, and then they have another fight. I think, just before they get the new Gundam, where the Rig Z gets a bit trashed. And then,
no, he's not in it. He doesn't show back up into the battlefield until he gets the new Gundam. He dicks around until the new Gundam shows up, and then they get the new Gundam set up, and then he goes in that. She fights in the Rig Z and gets absolutely fucking destroyed by that dude, and then uses a hostage.
Yeah, and then Amuro brings her body and the damaged Rig Z back to the ship, and then Chen takes it out in the final battle.
For no reason, even though there's a perfectly good Jagan right there.
Even though it's half destroyed, yeah. So no, that's he goes back, and then they have a couple other things. Yeah, because that's also the middle fight is where Quest has the whatever with the funnels, and then the actual final fight she has the mobile armor.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So there's three fights in the movie. There's the first one, the middle one, and the end one.
You're right.
Just watched that movie last month. I'm like, I know.
I think I just like merged the middle fight and their final confrontation together in my brain.
You probably did. Yeah, I mean, it's very samey, but like they all return, and then stuff happens.
Oh god, I gotta be really careful that I don't want to attack him again with Noriko here, because I'm afraid that Noriko will roll a random crit and just fucking destroy them.
Use Mercy.
She doesn't have mercy.
Oh.
Noriko has no mercy.
There is no mercy here.
Does Noriko look like the face of mercy to you?
I mean, kind of, yes.
I mean, when she's behind the gunbuster, though.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, but she doesn't have an ability, so no.
She's not Kira.
She called Kira a punk.
Or Kira in early Z1, where he just always has mercy and can't bring anyone below 10 HP.
It's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, that's because most of the time when he's in that mode, he's attacking you.
Oh, it's when you're fighting him, okay.
Well, no, because there is one stage in the middle if you're playing on Rens where he joins you and he's controllable and still he won't bring anyone below 10 HP, but most of the time that's when he's attacking the other guys. It's okay though, but they deserve it for being filthy military dogs. And working with the Space Noids.
There we go. You should have said you should have just said Space Noids to start with.
Open up with Space Noids.
Yeah,
and Shane would have been like, yes!
But that's what they're actually angry. That's what the other side is actually angry at them for. It's not the Space Noids. It's the you're military dogs.
Well, they should be angry about the big Space Noids. I'm angry about the big space noids. Fucking space noids, man.
Hey, why are you attacking Fu, Quest? Your AI is supposed to attack, like, other people, like Amuro or something. Why are you using strategy? Jeez.
Oh yeah, Saber, how goes 30?
I haven't actually played it since I talked about it yesterday, so I'm still like I said, I got the V2, I got Guy, I got all the Better Man stuff, and now I'm just fighting infinite space noids.
Not all the Better Man stuff.
No, just the initial patch that's not the Gal Guy.
You got replacements for Gal Geigo's pilots.
Yes, basically.
I'm not sure they're... Actually, wait, no, they are decent to put in because I forgot they also get like basic like love and bravery.
I'm just mentioning it because I don't like Mamoru and Kaido, so yes, they're in Gai Go Go now.
Now you can have super love power Gal Geigo.
Yes. And now I'm just waiting for Duke Fire to show up.
Good old Duke Fire.
He's like Jay Decker, except better.
Because he is a fire engine.
Because he has a sword. But he also has the same kind of gun that Jay Decker does, so he's basically just the same thing but better. Except he can't use the Gun Max cannon, but you know.
Yeah, well.
That needs help anyway.
At least you saved Kagero.
Yes, I saved Kagero. And I'm not using him because
he's bad.
I just had too many other characters to use. Then I don't use any of the Braves except Jay Decker. I benched basically all of them. Because I'm like you're cool and all, but I have other characters I'd rather be using.
Even the Gal guys. Surely you use the Gal guys.
Oh, I meant the Jay Decker Braves. Yes, I use Gal Geiger. I don't use Super Bill Tiger or Shadow Mara or Kagero because I just ran out of space to.
Yeah, why would you? Just use Jay Decker. But
yeah, Super Bill Tiger is one attack it has with Jay Decker is pretty cool, but you know,
not cool enough. But then if you ran Super Build Tiger, how could you afford all the Majestic Prince units?
Oh. Yes, I also don't... I think I only use the main character and that's it.
You only use Red Fire? You don't use Blue... I can't remember the number.
Not usually, no.
One difference between Quest in the movie and this is that when you shoot down that guy, she actually gives a shit rather than being like, eh, whatever. It's like a totally different character.
I used Black 6 once, but I'm like, oh, this person is crazy.
Yes,
I think I'm not going to use them now.
And just crazy, and nobody knows their gender. That's the joke.
Yes.
And also, the unit's not that great either.
No, most of the Majestic Prince units have like 1 or 2 attacks.
Yes, I think in terms of tier list, it's like Red 5 and then Gold 4 because Gold 4 can shoot from like a mile away.
Oh, they have less attacks than the fucking Shuffle members.
Yeah.
Which sadly I don't use them, even though I like them. I do use Allenby though, because she has a good repair skill and she genuinely does deal good damage.
And unlike the Sakura Wars characters, they don't do surprisingly high amounts of damage for some reason.
Have you been upgrading the Dry Cruise?
Yes, I have.
Have you gotten the ability to just passively heal and recharge everything that's near it?
Not yet.
You'll get that soon, and then you're like, man, why would I send robots in when I can send this stupid battleship in front, and it will just heal everything?
Well, that's the end of the map. Now it's time for just the cutscenes. That was quick.
Hooray!
I'm not used to the maps being this short because I'm the next map I'm doing on my own playthrough is the last map.
To be fair, last maps are usually quite short.
The maps before it though, whew, they were long.
Yeah, but then like the last maps are basically just here's the final boss.
Like the last the 3 maps before it were ooh. Like, you have the one where it's like, with the Dark Gundam, where things keep just popping off. And, well, it's before the Dark Gundam. There's the one where you're first trying to stop the Axis drop. And then there's the Dark Gundam one where then Dr. Hell also shows up. And then there's the Invaders, and then also the Zonders, and also the alien monsters. And then fucking Master Z shows up.
Isn't V the one where the final boss fight is then literally everyone saying, "Man, love's great"?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Alright, and the boss
Even
like,
Ryoma.
does not compute. I mean,
To be fair, canonically, Ryoma has fucked once.
what is stronger than the love between a man and his getter?
Between the love of a man, his getter raised, I don't know.
Exactly, or between a man and his Carlos.
Like I said, though, to be fair, even though we made that joke one time, Ryoma has canonically fucked once. He has a child. How it happened, I don't fucking know.
Tripped and fell into her.
Maybe.
That's how I choose to.
I mean,
interpret
it's
it.
not impossible. She was somebody at his dojo, so it could have happened by accident.
You know, you're just kind of walking around, you trip over, and just happens.
You know, sparring session goes wrong.
Yeah.
And then you
That
got a
or-
kid.
That, or maybe she just like
Goku.
maybe he wasn't. Yeah, maybe he wasn't even conscious.
So are you implying that Chi-Chi chloroforms Goku and then fucks him?
Oh no, Chi-Chi doesn't chloroform Goku. Chi-Chi just bribes Goku.
Yeah, actually, that I believe 100%.
Put a baby in me, I will feed you.
I do like food.
And that's how Gohan was made.
And that's how also Goten was made. Listen, nowadays there's people that when you make Goku bad father jokes to Piccolo is the dad jokes, there's actually a group of people now that get mad at you and like, no!
Goku is a bad dad.
He is.
He's barely there. He spends most of both of his child's lives being dead, or training, or dead and training.
It's true.
Vegeta's a more attentive father.
It's like, yeah, but Piccolo threw him down the mountain that one time as a baby. He still spent more time with him.
Yeah, and Goku sent him off to fight a horrible genetic abomination.
And even Piccolo's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And then Gohan's like, well, I guess maybe I have a chance. And Goku's like, oh shit, he has a chance. Quick, Senzu Bean.
Thank you. Delicious. Love senzu beans.
This seems like an incredibly bad idea, but thanks, Goku.
I love the joke animation someone did where they're like, hey dad, remember Cell? What? And he throws Jiren a senzu bean. I love that animation so much.
I mean, problem is Goku would enjoy that.
It's true. Oh boy, thanks Gohan! Wait, what? You like that? Yeah!
Now I can have a better fight.
Is Goku a masochist?
Maybe.
Yes.
Like how the end of this, we were joking about Ryoma fucking and it quickly devolved into, wow, Goku's a fucking doofus.
Goku's lust for battle has endangered his entire universe.
You know, to be fair,
Well-
Ryoma's lust for battle hasn't endangered the entire universe.
That's because Ryoma has the sense to not go actively seeking out fights, he just waits for those fucking idiots to come to him.
And then he
But
just
then-
fucking ravages them.
Whereas Goku is like, well, I could have defeated him if I really wanted to, but I wanted to have a better fight.
Ryoma doesn't care about a better fight, he'll just fucking kill you and be like, man, you
No.
sucked.
Ryoma doesn't want a better fight, Ryoma wants a getter fight.
It's true.
It's time to leave.
It's time to leave.